Hola, soy Javi, os doy la bienvenida a English Listening. Ahora os dejo simplemente con Mike, nos va a explicar una interesante historia sobre deportes y Estados Unidos. Adelante, Mike.
Hello and welcome to English Listening. My name's Mike, and today we're going to be talking about sports in the United States of America. Now, American culture is so fascinated with sports. Sports that we find ourselves watching on a regular basis include American football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and a large assortment of other sports like NASCAR and golf, and I can just go on forever because we are a sports culture. I don't know why we are a sports culture, why we are so obsessed with competition, but maybe that's part of the American way, the way of being competitive and challenging yourself. I don't know. But I've been a sports fan for my entire life, all 37 years almost. And I'm more of a American football fan than I am any other type of fan. Now, I've been out to a couple football games, and usually you end up freezing because our football season is in the colder part of the year. It's in autumn through winter. And if you do manage to get a ticket to a game and it's in the middle of winter, you probably will come home with frostbite because it's that cold. So I wouldn't recommend going to a football game in the winter if you ever have a chance to come to the United States, unless you really like going to the hospital for frostbite. So another sporting event that is really popular in the U.S. would be a baseball game. Some traditions at baseball include eating peanuts and Cracker Jacks, and it wouldn't really be a game of any sort unless you had beer. And at the seventh inning of the baseball game, we have a seventh inning stretch where the people stand up and we all sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which has become the anthem, in a sense, of American baseball. So in the United States, we're not really into hockey, though there is a segment of our population that is mostly northern, in the northern parts of the United States, in the New Yorks, in those parts of the country, we tend to have a lot more fans of hockey. But it's not as popular throughout the United States as American football, NBA basketball, and baseball. Now, basketball is also very popular in the United States, and in Cleveland, where I live, we used to have Lebron James, who was this big star, and then he stabbed us in the chest. Well, not really, but, he took money from the people down in Florida and went to a winning team. That seems to be how it is in Cleveland, specifically, where I live, is we kind of build up a lot of sports heroes, or the athletes that come out of Cleveland are great, and they go somewhere else. They go to another team to win. But that's what it's like to live in Cleveland, where I live. So you might be wondering why I haven't mentioned a game like soccer or football, as it would be called in other Spanish-speaking countries. Well, in the United States, we really haven't caught on to the football craze, or the soccer craze, as we would call it. And we do actually have a major major soccer league, or a professional soccer league here. And we've been attempting to try to popularize it, but for some reason, even though we had Beckham in the United States for quite some years, to try to actually bring up the recognition of the sport, we really just don't care too much about the sport. And I really don't know why. I think it's just because we don't have as much of a history. And the reason why we love sports like football, American football, and baseball is because they have such a long history. And our fathers' fathers went to games. So we're maintaining a tradition of going to these sporting events. So I think that pretty much sums up what I would like to talk to you about with sports in the United States. Let me just say that in the USA, there's always a sporting event to go to. There's always something to do that involves sports. And if you love sports, then you're going to find a lot of fun things to do. And if you don't like sports, well, I guess you can go surf the internet or something. I'll see you later.
Gracias, Mike, por este vídeo tan interesante. Ahora, para quienes hayáis podido ver el vídeo, os dejamos algunas preguntas que podéis responder en los comentarios. Nosotros también añadiremos las respuestas en la descripción del vídeo. Bien, las preguntas son las siguientes. Nombra, por favor, cuáles son los 4 deportes más populares en Estados Unidos. Esa era la primera. Segunda, ¿durante cuántos años ha sido Mike fan de deportes? ¿Cuál es su deporte favorito? Siguiente, ¿durante qué 2 estaciones del año se juega la liga de fútbol americano? En un partido de béisbol, ¿cuáles son las comidas más típicas? Otra más, ¿en qué parte de Estados Unidos es más fácil que encuentres un fan de hockey? Siguiente, ¿por qué está Mike preocupado por el jugador Lebron James? Y última, ¿por qué piensa Mike que deportes como béisbol o fútbol americano son tan populares en Estados Unidos? Muchas gracias por vuestra atención.